What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Back on the YouTube grind for a bit now. Not that anyone noticed we were gone anyway, but that's not the point. So last month I had the privilege of doing a bit of coverage at this year's Tech Fest up in Newham. It's a great prog tech metal festival. Great lineup this year. I saw some sick bands and I filmed a couple interviews as well. This one being the first, I had a chat with Pupil Slicer. Spoke about all sorts really. What it was like releasing their new album during the pandemic, the fact that they've been heavily touring this year, getting all the sick festival lineups, great high profile gigs, and really what the future has in store for the band. So I'm going to stop rambling now and we'll get straight to the interview. Hope you enjoy it.
First of all, how are you? How are you enjoying your festival so far?
Yeah, really good, really good, man.
And anyone you're looking forward to catching too? We just said like Mark the Fire you want to catch later on. Anyone else?
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. We was here yesterday and saw a couple of bands, saw The Ocean, which was absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, they were
so
phenomenal,
good.
Party Cannon, Ohms.
Really looking forward to Party Cannon as well, yeah. This is the first time coming here at all, or have you guys been here as concerts before?
My first time.
Yeah, my first time too. Our bass player Luke's been here a number of times.
Yeah, I think he's ever been there 3 times. This is
Yeah.
like his crowd.
Yeah, he's well into the tech scene and we
Like a click there.
yeah, he knows a lot of people and yeah, it's our first time.
Well, your first time being here, obviously headlining the second stage as well. That's got to be pretty fun, exciting to look forward
Yeah,
to.
really,
How are you
man.
sort of feeling about that?
Yeah, it's exciting. I think that's our first time headlining anything at a festival. This is like
Yeah.
our first big festival.
Yeah, it's our first big opportunity to play something like this, so we really
Yeah.
can't wait. And watching the crowd in there yesterday, watching Vex, they were absolutely amped. So
Yeah.
yeah, can't wait to play it, man. It's going to be really good.
You guys have kept yourself pretty busy this year. It feels like you're trying to squeeze into as many tours and as many sort of festivals as possible as well. I actually caught you guys at the London show at the end.
Excellent.
sick.
That
Yeah,
was fucking
yeah.
insane.
Oh, man, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw a couple of you actually at crowd surfing as well.
Yeah, I got
That's
that.
this
So-
one.
Was it you? I honestly, I don't normally pit, but I crowd surfed 7 times.
Yeah,
that
I
gig.
couldn't
brilliant,
help
man.
it. I was like, ends riffs or 2 again. That
So
was
that's-
my first time here. Yeah, that was sick. Like, I've been a fan of Ends since that very first EP dropped.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just amazing getting to play with them, getting to meet Will Putney and Matey Boy from Counterparts.
Yeah.
And just all of them were so nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Jay from Charlotte.
Sure. And also Roller Tomasi tour as well.
Yeah,
that was
was
happening.
really
How was that one as well?
Also amazing. That was our first tour. So
As a full sort of
yeah, we'd done
just-
weekenders before. but
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time we're hitting the ground running after the pandemic. Before that, the most people we played to was 50 people in a basement.
Yeah.
And then by the time that hit London, it was 800 people. And it was
I feel like as far as sonically, that seemed like kind of a perfect tour for you guys as well.
Yeah,
Just
it's
because all
really
the tech shit was going on,
yeah,
everyone's
us
doing.
and Harriet, it was a good
Yeah.
sort of different elements of the heaviness.
Absolutely.
And then Rolo was way better than both of us, but
Oh,
they've
man,
been
Rolo
doing
was
it
sick.
as long as
Minor.
we've been alive, probably. So.
But obviously, that kind of acted almost as an album release kind of tour for you
Yeah.
guys, because obviously there wasn't really too much going on. Obviously reasons for when you drop Mirrors, so it's nice to feel good to get the ball rolling, just to get a little bit.
Yeah, it did feel like sort of an album release. That was the first time a lot of people were seeing us, and it was sort of really cool having that fan interaction, people coming up to us afterwards and being, "Oh, I love the album" and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is really weird. No one's talked to us before. Why are you talking to us? But no, it was really cool for the first time, and all the fans were super. They're amazing. Rolo were amazing. Harriet were amazing. And then playing with End as well, they were all amazing. So everyone's been really supportive and we haven't really felt out of our depth, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
Despite it all being completely alien, and we are out of our depth. But
No, but the really cool thing about you guys as well, you've actually managed to keep momentum coming out of everything after all.
Yeah.
So how
I don't know how that's happened. We haven't done anything for the momentum. It just has been happening, and I'm like, this is amazing. But it's also quite confusing because it's well, how do we do that again if on the second album or whatever? We've somehow got this momentum going, but then I guess while we've got all these gigs booked this year, it'll sort of be carrying anyway because
it's good as well because
it's still irrelevant.
it feels it's very very organic as well. It's very almost kind of like an old school approach because you're saying earlier, you're getting on all these tours, all these shows, all these festival lineups as well, and that is how you've managed to keep that momentum there. People are actually discovering the music and all that, and then you're gaining like the fan base the right way. No one's going like viral or anything.
Yeah.
Like it feels a bit like DIY really.
Yeah,
Which is what I really
it
like.
basically is like we did everything for the first album ourselves, recorded it and stuff. Prosthetic released it for us, but we've sort of had a very DIY ethic with everything. We sorted out like all the music videos ourselves. The photographers have all sort of been like, the labels like, what about these guys? And then we meet the photographers and sort of have quite a strong vision of how we wanted it to look.
Yeah.
And then sort of with the tours and stuff, our agent's been really helpful, and we basically just gave him a list of bands that we're like, we'd really like to play with these bands. And then he sort of has got a feel for us to be like, end are coming, do you want to do it? I've assumed yes. Just double checking, and it's like, you assumed right? Like,
Are you free for it? Is
are
everyone
you
off
free?
work?
Is everyone
Yeah.
off
Heads
work?
up.
Make
Yeah,
sure you book it
good.
off.
Heads up, this is coming.
He just sort of knows the bands we want to be playing with, and sort of it's just like having a few extra connections helps get it. But a lot of the stuff has been just like direct to us. Like Bloodstock was direct email in our inbox, just being like, "Can you play Bloodstock?" We're like,
Of course we can.
yeah, sure.
Same as Brutal Assault, very similarly.
Yeah, Brutal
They reached
Assault
out
was,
to us
like,
and I was like,
direct.
really like Mirrors. Do you guys want to play? I was like, yes,
Yes,
of course.
of
We'll
course.
come out to Czech Republic.
Is there
and we'll
any
play.
other sort of highlights of the year so far? Of those sort of
So far, I don't know.
Playing with Godflesh was really, really cool.
Oh,
in
Godflesh, yeah,
Glasgow.
that was amazing.
Just 'cause getting to meet
Justin was
Justin.
so
Was
nice.
that the one where they did? No, they did 2 nights in London, didn't they?
Yeah, so we played on the Glasgow date. We didn't get on the London one, so we went up there to play. And got to meet Justin. He was just the nicest guy, man. He was really,
the fans
really
were
cool.
so nice in Glasgow. Like, that was our first time in Scotland, and somehow like the fans like bought enough merch that we like actually didn't lose money that day. We made like 20 quid after everything, and it's like, how? It was a drive up to Glasgow and back. It cost us like 800 quid, but it evened out, and that was like really cool that sort of stuff was possible. And because like we wouldn't be able to do it without fans like supporting us. Like, we're not making any money on the band, but we thankfully are just about breaking even. Like, we lost a bit of money going to Denmark recently. We sort of just saw that as a holiday where we spent like 200 quid on it.
If you're going to pay that much to go on holiday, you might as well just like
Get to play shows.
exactly. But do you have any follow-ups at all? Any sort of news that you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah,
new
we're going to
material as
be
well?
heading into the studio in like October for our second album, so really looking forward to that. And then next year we hope to get out like sort of further afield, hopefully hit up Europe, maybe North America if all the stars align. But that's going to be really expensive whatever happens, so we've sort of got to wait for the perfect moment if we want to do that.
There's goals there though.
There's goals,
you
we
know what
wanna
you
do
want
it,
to do.
yeah.
I know it's probably possible. Again, you're saying before, you're maintaining this momentum, and hopefully,
Just seeing all these bands like Conjure went over to the US and they had a really good time. Loathe just went with Code Orange, like something like that would be like if Code Orange were like, "Can you do something with us?" We'd be like, "Yes," and like we'd make it work. So
yeah. There's quite like
right.
it's quite like a steady pattern this past like sort of couple of years. Like the UK scene is getting like a lot of attention like over America. Like there's a demand for it.
Frontier just got like the Australia tour coming up, like stuff like that. It's just like
High Power did a lot in America as well recently, didn't they? There's a lot of bands breaking out over there. The people seem to like it, which is great for us. Hopefully we can do that as well. And
Any other sort of like highlights for you guys? Not highlights, but like bands you listen to as far as the UK scene goes that people should really be.
we're on tour with Ifka in a few weeks'
Yeah.
time, and man, the new stuff, the singles they released off their new album is incredible, and they're so good.
The first, not the first, but the one before, the language one, that was like insane record.
Oh man, the new stuff it's even better. It's really, really good. Just good chunky riffs. Really looking forward to playing with them.
Cool guys, well we're going to let you get on with the rest of the day.
Awesome.
Just before you do go, now's your time to plug shit, tell the people what you got coming up, or what you're allowed to anyway, and then or me, anyone.
We're Pupil Slicer. We've got our album Mirrors out on Prosthetic Records, came out last year. Our single Thermal Runaway came out in February. You can watch the music videos, and go pupilslicer.co.uk for tour updates, merch, any of that stuff. We got new tie-dye shirts in.
Join the Slice Club.
Join the Slice
Join
Club.
the Slice Club.